It all started with a young man found drifting alone in a life raft, miles from shore. He claimed his boat, the Chicken Pox, had sunk, a tragic accident. But investigators soon learned Nathan Carman had made odd changes to the boat before its final voyage, removing trim tabs and leaving holes just above the waterline. Nathan, a quiet 22-year-old from Vermont, had already faced two family tragedies. His wealthy grandfather shot dead, and now his mother lost at sea. Two violent deaths, both with Nathan at the center. As investigators dug deeper, Nathan's calm explanations and the missing details in his story raised suspicions. Was he simply unlucky, or was there something more chilling beneath the surface? The chickenpox story became a puzzle of family, fortune, and the possibility of betrayal. Was Nathan Carman a victim of fate, or a predator hiding in plain sight? The answer, authorities suspected, was tied to an inheritance worth millions. The question: how far would someone go for family money? Nathan's story was about to unravel, and the truth would be darker than anyone imagined. Nathan's troubles began years before the sinking. In 2013, his grandfather John Chikalos, a real estate magnate, was found shot dead at home. Nathan was the last to see him alive. Police suspected Nathan, especially after learning he'd bought a rifle matching the murder weapon's caliber, then claimed it was lost. The motive? Money. Chikalos was worth over $40 million and Nathan stood to inherit through his mother, but with no murder weapon, the case went cold. Chikalos had supported Nathan, but tensions grew over Nathan's spending and lack of direction. Had financial pressure pushed Nathan to the unthinkable? For 3 years the murder faded into the background, until tragedy struck again at sea. The next act would cost his mother her life, and put Nathan back in the spotlight. 2 deaths, 1 heir, and a growing suspicion. The pattern was impossible to ignore. In September 2016, Nathan and his mother Linda set out for a fishing trip from Rhode Island. Linda texted a friend from the marina, her last message. When they didn't return, the Coast Guard searched the Atlantic. No boat, no debris, no sign of either. A week later, Nathan was found alone, in a life raft. Healthy, and well-stocked with food and water. His mother was gone. Nathan claimed the boat sank suddenly after a strange noise. He said he called for his mother, grabbed the emergency bag, and escaped. But experts doubted his story. A boat that size shouldn't have sunk so fast, and Nathan had drilled holes in the hull before the trip, patching them with putty. Why risk such a repair before heading offshore? Why pack enough supplies for himself, but not his mother? Investigators saw a story that didn't add up. Nathan insisted it was survival, but to authorities, it looked like a carefully crafted script. The evidence pointed to something far more sinister. Was this a tragic accident, or a plan years in the making? The investigation intensified. Nathan's rescue triggered a new investigation. Federal agents seized his electronics, searching for clues. They found damning evidence. Nathan had removed the boat's GPS and searched online about inheritance if his mother died. The chickenpox was gone, but the life raft and Nathan's shifting story remained. He couldn't explain why he went so far offshore, or why key safety equipment was missing. His family was divided. His aunts filed a lawsuit to block his inheritance, convinced he was responsible for both deaths. They described Nathan as obsessed with money and firearms, methodically removing obstacles to a fortune. His father defended him, calling it a tragic accident. Legal battles raged. Insurers refused to pay out, and the courts became the new battleground. No criminal charges were filed, but suspicion surrounded Nathan. He was free, but trapped by the weight of his own story. The question of guilt lingered, and the fight for millions continued. For years the case stalled in limbo. Nathan, sole beneficiary of his mother's inheritance, couldn't access assent due to the Slayer petition. He represented himself in court, always insisting on his innocence. In 2022, a federal grand jury indicted Nathan for his mother's murder and multiple counts of fraud. Prosecutors claimed he killed for money, connecting the suspicious boat repairs, missing evidence, and financial motive. But the case was built on circumstantial evidence. The murder weapon and the chickenpox were never found. Before trial, Nathan was found dead in his jail cell, an apparent suicide at 29. There would be no verdict, no closure. The truth of what happened died with him. Was Nathan Carman a monster or a victim? The answer remains lost at sea, forever unsettled.